It's no secret I love Doxa watches. I love the history of the brand, I love the weird, purpose-built, quirky design, and a lot of the enthusiasts I've met along the way are still good friends, and some of them even dive buddies. I got this one in 2021, and I wore it when I got my open water certification, and it's been with me on many adventures ever since. See, when you get a new watch, you get to be the one to put memories and stories into that piece. But when you buy a vintage watch, usually those stories and memories are already there. And that brings me to this watch. This Doxa Sharkhunter Sub 300T was owned by a man named Joe Thompson. Well, Joe Thompson is definitely not a household name, but he has quite the fascinating history. Joe Thompson was the longtime underwater photographer and submersible pilot for none other than Jacques Cousteau. Joe moved to California in 1964 to start work at Westinghouse on the Deep Star 2000 and 4000 programs, and that's where Cousteau first heard about him. He worked for Cousteau for 14 years, and during that time, Cousteau said that he was the best underwater photographer he ever worked with. Through a long series of emails and some deep online sleuthing, I was actually able to get in touch with Joe Thompson's son, Joe Jr., who still lives in California. Joe was gracious enough to send me a multitude of photographs, even recordings, pictures of his dad's old dive logs, and there's so much information here that I can't wait to share with all of you. Owning a watch like this really feels surreal, and I'm honored to have this piece in my collection and share Joe Thompson's story with all of you. I definitely have so many more stories and photos I can't wait to share with you guys, as well as, of course, the story about how I actually got this watch on my wrist. So be sure to follow the Watch Preserve and Watching the Map for more stories about Joe Thompson and more amazing connections to Cousteau history.